The Bubblegum Crisis, a hurricane in a neon city. Introduction, a world on the brink. In the world of 2032, prosperity has a glitter that feels sharp to the touch. The society of MegaTokyo is a marvel of technological achievement, a shimmering metropolis built on a foundation of deep-seated tension. This world, as its creators envisioned, is like a chewing gum bubble that's about to burst, a perfect, glossy sphere stretched to its absolute limit, beautiful but dangerously unstable. What if the perfect, shimmering future you were promised was built on a lie, so fragile it could shatter at any moment? This is the world of Bubblegum Crisis. MegaTokyo is a dazzling testament to human resilience. A city of gleaming towers and neon-soaked streets rebuilt from the ashes of the Great Second Kanto earthquake. Its recovery was miraculous, its economy booming, creating a sense of inflated prosperity that feels both intoxicating and unsustainable. This central metaphor was deliberately chosen to be resonant, a direct reflection of the real-world Japanese bubble economy of the late 1980s. A period of unprecedented economic growth that many felt was a beautiful, vibrant illusion destined for a messy rupture. Just beneath the polished chrome and holographic advertisements, a storm of violence and moral compromise is brewing, ready to tear the city apart. The ghosts in the machine. In the high-stakes world of MegaTokyo, the question of artificial life is not one of abstract philosophy, but of strategic importance. The central conflict of Bubblegum Crisis is not a simple tale of good versus evil. It is a profound and often tragic inquiry into what it means to be human in an age where perfect copies can be manufactured on an assembly line. At the heart of this inquiry are the boomers, the biomechanical workforce that built and now runs MegaTokyo. They are, in essence, perfect copies of humanity, created to serve, but so perfect they began to ask the same questions we do about freedom, purpose, and the nature of their own souls. This premise owes a significant philosophical debt to Philip K. Dick's seminal novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? The series takes the novel's introspective question about empathy and transforms it into high-stakes, high-octane action. The nod to this influence is reverent and explicit. The story's rebellious hero, Pris, fronts a band called Pris and the Replicants. This philosophical dilemma is made real and emotional through the tragic story of Sylvie, featured in the episode Moonlight Rambler. Sylvie is an escaped sexoroid, a love doll boomer playing on classic film noir tropes of the femme fatale and the monstrous feminine, who befriends Pris, bonding over a shared love of motorcycles and freedom. When Sylvie's true nature is revealed, she forces Pris into a heartbreaking choice, externalizing the internal, moral conflict of Blade Runner's Deckard into an action-driven climax. Her story makes the series' core question flesh. At what point does destroying the machine become an act of murder? This question of the artificial soul is the ghost that haunts the neon city, a specter born from the unchecked ambition of the corporate power that created it. The concrete jungle and its corporate king. The primary antagonist in MegaTokyo is not a person but a system of absolute corporate power. If Philip K. Dick provided the story's philosophical questions, it was William Gibson's 1984 novel Neuromancer that provided its socio-economic landscape. In this meticulously crafted future, traditional governments have faded into obsolescence, replaced by a new kind of feudalism ruled by a single, all-powerful entity. That entity is the genome, the quintessential cyberpunk megacorp. Its domination over MegaTokyo is total, visually symbolized by the monolithic Genome Tower, a dark ziggurat that pierces the polluted sky. Critiquing not just domestic corporate greed, but a placeless globalist corporatism, Genom's executives bear distinctly Western names like Quincy Rosenkreitz and Brian J. Mason. In this new world order, Genom is a new kind of royalty, its executives the new lords and the citizens their modern-day serfs. This world is a textbook illustration of the core cyberpunk tenet of high-tech, low-life. The gleaming, sterile world of the corporate elite exists in stark contrast to the decaying, refuse-choked slums of the Rift, where the underclass is forced to live. Genom's power was born from a cynical exploitation of the second Kanto earthquake. In a chillingly prescient critique of what is now called disaster capitalism, the corporation profited from tragedy, leveraging its boomer technology to rebuild the city and, in the process, make the entire society dependent on it. Against such an overwhelming and systemic force, who could possibly fight back? A symphony of rebellion. The resistance against Genom is not just a physical battle fought in the shadows of skyscrapers, it is a cultural and spiritual war. The series' genius lies not in pure originality, but in its masterful synthesis of its influences. It is an unabashed and celebratory mashup of three foundational science fiction films. From Blade Runner, it takes its neon-noir aesthetic. From The Terminator, it borrows the concept of the unstoppable killing machine. And from Walter Hill's 1984 rock fable Streets of Fire, it derives its most unique feature, a high-energy, rebellious rock sensibility. This fusion of pop and punk is the lifeblood of Bubblegum Crisis, and nowhere is it more apparent than in Pris Asagiri, the team's emotional core and a rock star by night. Her music is the diegetic soundtrack to the rebellion. Her songs are the city's true heartbeat, a furious rhythm of defiance against the silent, crushing weight of Genom. The opening montage of the very first episode perfectly illustrates this synthesis. As Pris performs her iconic song Konya Hurricane Tonight, the scene is intercut with images of a rogue boomer rampage and the Knight Sabers preparing for battle. The music is not a background score. It is an inseparable part of the action, a declaration of war. But this rebellion needs more than just a voice. It needs weapons forged in the same spirit of defiance. Forging the instruments of freedom. In the world of Bubblegum Crisis, technology is a battlefield of ideas. The machinery used by Genom and the equipment wielded by the heroes represent two diametrically opposed philosophies. One is the technology of control, the other is the technology of liberation. At the heart of the Knight Sabers' arsenal are their Hardsuits, advanced suits of powered armor that are the ideological opposite of the boomers. If boomers were the product of a corporate assembly line designed for control, the Hardsuits were masterpieces from a rebel's workshop, handcrafted for liberation. Their sleek, often criticized feminine lines are a deliberate aesthetic statement. Rather than adopting a purely functional or masculine form, the armor fuses a distinct feminine identity with military-grade technology, a declaration that wielding power does not require the erasure of identity. Each suit is a direct extension of its wearer's personality, a powerful form of characterization through machinery. Celia's suit, elegant and precise, is armed with retractable forearm blades and palm-mounted laser cannons, reflecting her role as the cool, calculating leader who directs the battle with strategic superiority. Pris's suit is built for brutal, close-quarters power, equipped with explosive knuckle bombers and an integrated railgun that embody her confrontational, street-level rebellion. But this rebellion needs more than just a voice. It needs weapons forged in the same spirit of defiance. Forging the instruments of freedom. In the world of Bubblegum Crisis, technology is a battlefield of ideas. The machinery used by Genom and the equipment wielded by the heroes represent two diametrically opposed philosophies. One is the technology of control, the other is the technology of liberation. At the heart of the Knight Sabers' arsenal are their Hardsuits, advanced suits of powered armor that are the ideological opposite of the boomers. If boomers were the product of a corporate assembly line designed for control, the Hardsuits were masterpieces from a rebel's workshop, handcrafted for liberation. Their sleek, often criticized feminine lines are a deliberate aesthetic statement. Rather than adopting a purely functional or masculine form, the armor fuses a distinct feminine identity with military-grade technology, a declaration that wielding power does not require the erasure of identity. Each suit is a direct extension of its wearer's personality, a powerful form of characterization through machinery. Celia's suit, elegant and precise, is armed with retractable forearm blades and palm-mounted laser cannons, reflecting her role as the cool, calculating leader who directs the battle with strategic superiority. Pris's suit is built for brutal, close-quarters power, equipped with explosive knuckle bombers and an integrated railgun that embody her confrontational, street-level rebellion. Lena's suit, armed with unique, wire-like ribbon cutters, is a blend of grace and pragmatism, reflecting her journey from an ordinary citizen radicalized by tragedy into a skilled warrior. Nina's suit is a tool for information warfare, packed with advanced sensors and an EMP striker, embodying the crucial idea that in a cyberpunk world, data is as powerful as firepower. Armed with these personalized instruments of justice, the Knight Sabers wage their war in the shadows of MegaTokyo, a war that would ultimately have a strange yet fitting conclusion. The unfinished fight. Sometimes, in stories about rebellion against an insurmountable system, the most powerful conclusion is the one that never truly arrives. The fight, by its very nature, is ongoing. This became the real-world fate of Bubblegum Crisis. The series was prematurely canceled after 8 of its 13 planned episodes due to production disputes between its studios Artmic and Umex. The central story arc was left hanging, the ultimate villains never confronted, the final mysteries left unsolved. Yet this abrupt end, born of real-world chaos, is not a failure, but a thematically perfect conclusion for a cyberpunk story. The central conflict remains unresolved. Genom is never definitively defeated, and the crisis state of MegaTokyo becomes permanent. The story is left as an ongoing struggle, a perfect encapsulation of the cyberpunk ethos. The fight against the system is never truly won. The revolution is always incomplete, but the resistance must endure. The series leaves us not with a neat resolution, but with a timeless and indelible image, a world of neon, rain, and rebellion, captured forever in a state of beautiful, explosive precarity, a bubble perpetually on the verge of bursting.